Hi, good morning, team. Myself Ganesh Raj. So today I'm going to brief about the contents, means give the brief introduction details about the what is pricing procedure, outline agreement, consignment process, pipeline agreement, subcontracting, batch management, and the physical inventory process. So coming to the first topic is a pricing procedure. So what is the pricing procedure? Pricing procedure is a systematic framework that calculates the final price of a purchase ordered by the sequentially applying the defined price condition. So, so in the pricing procedure, we have the parameters like the which has to be included like the base price, discount, freight, and tax through the predefined rules and access sequence. So if you want to purchase any one laptop, it is one scenario. So a company wants the 100 units of laptop. The per price of the laptop is 50,000. So the base price is 50,000 and the company is giving like the vendor is giving the discount of 10%, which is 5,000, and the freight charges from destination to the source, that is a 30,000, that is a fixed charges, and the government GST. So the legal requirement like 8154 is the amount. So the final price will be the 53,154, and the total order price will be the 53 lakhs 15,400 rupees. So this is the one example I have given. So where the company will fix the product of the particular yeah, from the vendor. So what is the techniques? Like what is the condition techniques or the procedures we have to follow in the pricing procedures are, first one is a defined condition table. Uh, and there we'll have like a set of catalogs, like we'll fix the company code and vendor and three to four other parameters we will have, and we'll make the one condition. Okay, and then next come to the define access sequence. So that is a search strategy. So search strategy is like the thing which we are given, which helps in the stat. Okay, define condition type, pricing elements, and a define calculation schema. Pricing procedure, we have the 16 fields, and the schema group, purchase organization, and the vendor. So this is like the two combinations we have given in the earlier the condition table which we have defined, and the define schema determination, that is assign the schema group to the price procedure. So we are assigning the schema group to the particular pricing procedure. Finally, we are checking the condition records by giving the T code MEK1. So we will get the combination of like purchase organization, vendor, and the company code. We'll get a combination. So in this catalog, this is the price strategy. And so this is not fixed. Actually, we can have some 2 to 3 catalogs. We have the combination. So we coming to the pricing procedure T code types of condition. It is like a PB00, that is the gross price. So RA01, that is a discount. RB00, that is a rebate. FRB1, that is a freight. SKTO is a cash discount. MWST is a value or added tax VAT. AMIW, that is a minimum order value. So the minimum order value which the company accepts. ZA01, that is a customs or surcharges if we want to import the goods from the other countries outside India. So these are the few T codes which we are using in the pricing procedure. M-03 to define the condition table, M-07 for to define the access sequence, M-03 for the condition type, M-08 to define the calculation schema, MMFN to maintain the maintain schema group for vendor, MFMM to maintain the schema group for purchase organization, OMFP to assign the schema group for the purchase organization, XK02 to assign the schema group for vendor, OMFO to define the schema determination, MEK1 to maintain the condition records. So next comes to the outline agreement, second topic. So what is the outline agreement? So the outline agreement is a long-term purchasing agreement between a company and the vendor for the supply of the materials or services under the predefined condition. So I can tell example like the Tata company and another vendor like ABC company. So they have the company Tata company needs some requirement to purchase from the vendor. So they have a contract or the agreement between the for the particular period. So what is the benefit of the outline agreement? So the outline coming to outline agreement uses, it reduces the repetitive process. So once we fix the particular vendor for the particular period, so it reduces the repetitive work. So which helps the better relationship between the company and the vendor and the long term planning. So so it will be if we take the example of 2 years or 3 years, so we have can plan. So what will be our strategies? How we can improve our betterment and quality of services to the final customers, and where we can reduce the cost. So those kind of analysis we can do in the long term planning between the vendor and the customer. So even which helps it helps the company to have the effective budgeting. So the financial position will be the better for the company. So coming to next, the types or the types of outline agreement. The first one is a contract, and second one is a scheduling agreement. Contract, contract. A contract agreement is between a company and the vendor for a specific period. So as I told, it will be for the more than 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. So it depends upon the company and the vendor. So under first one we have the quantity contract. So it specifies the total quantity to be ordered. It is like the agreement mentions that the minimum like this much of quantity we need to purchase. So less than that we are not supplying those kind of goods. So coming to the value, for example, minimum value 1 lakh rupee you need to purchase. So beyond that, like 80,000 or 90,000, so the company like or the vendor, they are not accepting the orders from the company. So these are the two types under the contract. So coming to, and before that, in the contract, we must maintain we must have the prerequisites to create a contract. So first one is a purchase organization and the purchase group, plant, storage location, material, and the vendor. So these are the prerequisites for to create the contract, which is mandatory. So and coming to create the contract, to create the contract, we have the T codes like ME31K to create the contract, ME32 to edit, and the ME33K to display the contract, ME34K to maintain the contract supplement, ME35K to release the contract. So if you want to see any details in the table way in the SE 61N, so we can see EKK was O in the header data and EKPO in the item level data we can see. So coming to next, it is a scheduling agreement. So scheduling agreement is a long-term agreement where the materials are procured at the predetermined time, which contains a delivery schedule, which exact dates and quantity. So if I can take the example of Tata only, Tata and the vendor or the supplier ABC. So the both will have particular scheduling like so within some 1 month you need to or different intervals. So you need we need some quantity. We have predefined contract between them, and so accordingly they will send the goods to the company. So this is called as a scheduling agreement, scheduling the goods and services on the particular time. So coming to the T codes. So T code is like we have like ME31L to create the schedule agreement, ME32L to have to edit the scheduling agreement, ME33L to display the schedule agreement, ME35L to release the scheduling agreement, ME38 to create delivery schedule. So and we have the table. We can view the table level data also by EKKO, header data, and EKPO by the item data. So coming to the next topic is the consignment process. So what is a consignment process? Consignment is a stock refers to the stock that is owned by the vendor, but it is stored at the buyer's premises. The buyers only pays for the stock when it is consumed or sold. So I can take the best example of a DMart. So if we go to like we can items or so the racks and all. So actually that is not owned by the DMart only. So the company representatives like Colgate or any other products like MTR, so they will maintain particular shelves. So A to B, this is our shelf, and so accordingly, so if the products will sell, so that is bill to the customer. So this is known as a consignment example. I have given the best example. So coming to what and all to create the consignment process, what is the steps to create the consignment info. We need to create the consignment information record. So the T code is ME11. So next one, to create the consignment purchase order, that is ME21N. To and next one is a post goods receipt. The T code is MIGO. Movement type is 101K. So we have like a different movement type, like consignment we have to maintain K, and pipeline another next one is there. So that is we maintain P. So that is like a represent if we identification we can give to the particular process. And next is the goods issue, T code. We are giving MIGO. And next one is a consignment settlement. T code is MRKO. So once all the steps is there, so we need to give the amount to the vendor. So that is the settlement process which we are paying to the vendor. So after a particular period, so this is a balance we have sold to the we have sold, and this is the outstanding amount we need to pay to the vendor. So that is the consignment settlement, which we can do in the table MRKO. So accounting, what is accounting entries at the end of the consumption period? So it is a GBB. So that is like one code we get it in SAP, and the account modifier is a KON KRCR. At the time of MRKO, so the what is the accounting implication is the consignment account debit, and third credit will be the vendor account. So the credit account vendor account will be credited. So you will get the amount. So next is the pipeline process. What is the pipeline process? The pipeline process is designed for materials that are consumed directly from a pipeline or cable, such as the oil, gas, water, or electricity. These materials are not stored in the inventory but are used as they flow into the production process. The pipeline process streamlines the procurement and consumption without the traditional stock management. So example, daily we are getting like water supply, electricity, and the Wi-Fi. So if anything, it depends upon the billing cycle, how much we are consuming, that much we are paying. So this is the best example I can tell. So, so what is the steps to do the pipeline process? So first one, we need to create the material master setup. So material has to set up as a pipeline material. So source of supply, define the vendors details like pricing and other details. So and actually purchase order, which is optional. So purchase order is not necessary in the pipeline procedure. And next one is a consumption recording. Consumption recording direct is recorded directly from the system using the pipeline withdrawal transaction. So what is the last month consumption closing, and what is the next month opening, and current month what is the closing. So opening and the closing. So if the what is the consumption value, we can come to know the recording, and as per the rates, we will multiply, and we are doing the billing to the final company or the customers. So that is a consumption recording. So automatic material valuation. When the consumption is recorded, the materials are automatically valued based on the standard price in the material master. So that is a fixed standard prices. So invoice verification. Supplier sends the invoice based on the agreed terms and condition and consumption data. So coming to the next topic is a subcontracting. Subcontracting, it refers to the process where a company outsources the parts of its production process to an external vendor. The vendor is responsible for production of the semi-finished product, which the company will later finish or integrate into the final products. So first we have the company. Company gives the contract to the subcontracting like ancillary industries, so that companies will we have the raw materials which will be converted into semi-finished good and final to the production. So I can give the best example like a Tata Motors. So Tata Motors, every parts and like every it can't able to produce. So what the company will do? So it will have the best companies like ancillary industries. Like ancillary industries are spare parts. Like they are very much like if I take the example like Bosch or any continental company. So they will the Tata company will approach them and they will have they give particular requirement. So this money, this much of quantity I need for this particular for the particular production. So you need to have supply this type of company. So as per the agreement, so these Bosch or Continental, they are good in like tires and spark plug and all. So they will do the require as per the requirement of the company, and they will supply to the final Tata company. So this is the best example which I can give. And next is coming to what and all the is a sub process under the subcontracting. So coming to the first one is to create, we must create the subcontracting information record. The T code is ME11. And next one is to create the bills of material. So to that is a create T code is CS01. And next one is to create the subcontracting purchase order is T code ME21N. Next comes to the transfer component to the subcontractor. The T code is MIGO. And next one is to receive the finished goods from the subcontractor. So once the goods is received from the subcontractor, we need to do the MIGO entry. And next comes to the perform the invoice verification. Once all the goods are completed, we need to do the verification from the GR and IR whether it is matching or not. And next we will make the payment by the T code F-53 in the SAP. So next comes to the we have the few movement types. So coming to 541, it helps in to transfer of components to the vendor, and 543 is the consumption of components by vendor, and 101 to receive of finished goods. And we have a few accounting entries. So coming to first one is BSX. So that is the balance sheet, stock account to assembly, WRX, so which will come under the P&L, GR and IR clearing account, BSSV changes in the subcontracting stock, and FRL subcontracting charges, BSX that is a stock account of component, GBB as VB00 consumption account of components. So these are the accounting important entries of under the subcontracting. So coming to the next one, to the batch management. What is a batch management? Batch management is that which enables the organization to manage and track the materials produced or procured in batches. It This feature is particularly crucial in industries such as pharmaceuticals, chemicals, food processing, and cosmetics, where product traceability, quality control, and regularity components are essential. So in the below example, we have pharmaceutical, FMCG, cosmetics, chemicals, electric components, and the book suppliers. So so we have particular batches. So for the particular period, or if any innovations are being done, so they will maintain this product is produced under this batch for the smooth and tracking of the and regulatory compliances. So they will have the this batch management process. So coming to next, we have what is the benefit of the batch management. So the batch management which helps easy traceability, quality control, regulatory compliance, inventory access, inventory accuracy, and efficiency in handling the materials. So below we have few T codes, SAP T codes, MSC1N to create the batch, MSC4N to display batch where uh, CL01 to create the characteristics, CL02 to assign characteristic to a class, BMBC to batch the information cockpit. And we have few tables like MCHA to batch information at the material level, MCH1 to see the batch information at the material and the plant level, MCHB at the stock details, MSEG material document items, MKPF material document header, MARD stock information at the storage location level, MBKE sales data for materials including batch, MLAN tax data for batch managed materials. So these are the tables we maintain under the batch management process. So coming to the next topic is the physical inventory process. So what is the physical inventory process? Physical inventory process involves the counting and the verification in a warehouse to ensure that the system records match the actual stock. It helps in accuracy, inventory levels, and avoids the discrepancies. So below is a flow chart where first we create the physical inventory document, print the physical inventory document, and entry the physical inventory count. So we will go to the warehouse and we will see as per our SAP books and the physical inventory in our warehouse. So we will match accordingly, and we will initiate the count whether it is matching. If we found any differences, like I can take the best example like rice. So if we have some 100 quintals or 100 tons of rice, so depending and so even the rice will its quality. So there will be some out of some 100 tons, one bag will be some shrinkage or any damage will happen. So those differences under maintain, which is a loss to the company, that is maintained in the P&L account of that particular company. And we'll finally we'll post the difference. That is a post the difference in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So coming, we have the types of physical inventory stocks. So physical inventory processes. First one is a periodic inventory. So we conduct a specific. We'll verify the goods periodically, like yearly, quarterly, half yearly, and next comes to the continuous inventory. That is done to yearly in the cycles. So which will not have like particular period. We'll be continuously verifying the goods. And next comes to the cycle, which counts the high value materials more frequently. So in a warehouse we have like we dump like all types of like low value, middle value, and high value of stocks. So in the cycle counting, we will verify the I value of materials, uh, I value of materials. So next comes the inventory of sampling, where the randomly selected portion of the stock, total stock is counted instead of checking the entire inventory. So out of some particular 100 quintals of rice. So we will sample only one. So we will check, we will take the sample, what is the quality of the rice, or if any other products also, that is the inventory sampling. So, and we have coming to next, we have few more SAP movements and its descriptions. 701, 702, 703, 704, 707, 708. So 701 comes to goods received for unrestricted stock. 702 to goods issue for unrestricted stock. 702 to goods received for quality inspection stock. 704 for goods issue for quality inspection stock. 707 to goods received for blocked stock. 708 coming it's the goods issue for blocked stock. Next is the table. So SAP tables, that is IKPF, that is header data for physical inventory document. ISEG, that is a line item data for the physical inventory document. MCHB, that is a batch stock, includes the physical inventory count for batch managed materials. MARD to storage the location stock. MSEG document segment for material movement. MKPF material document header. MBEK MBEW, material valuation. MSKU for the special stock with customer. MSKA for the sales order stock. M001L storage location master data. T15156 movement type configuration. LQAA quants in warehouse management. These are the tables.
So, hello everyone. Today I'm going to take you all through subcontracting process, outline agreement, and scheduling agreement. So, first let's take a look at subcontracting. So, here the definition says, just a second. Okay, here the definition says subcontracting process in SAP involves outsourcing part of manufacturing process to a vendor while maintaining control over the materials provided. Okay, just a second. Okay. And subcontracting is the practice of assigning or outsourcing parts of the obligation and task under contract to another party. So why is it done? It allows companies to focus on core activities by outsourcing specialized tasks to vendors, ensuring efficiency, cost effectiveness, and high quality output. So let's take a look at example. So Maruti is one of the leading automobile manufacturers in India, and I think very few knows JBM Group. So here, Maruti Suzuki mainly they manufacture, they produce car, and they deliver it to end user. But not every activity will be conducted by Maruti Suzuki. So what they do, they outsource some of the activities to their vendors in order to get that raw material to a finished product. So here, JBM Group, they are specialized in assembling a body part. So basically, Maruti Suzuki procure raw materials, that is a metal sheet from Tata Groups, and there are many players in the market. And then they outsource that to JBM Group, and they manufacture this. I mean, they assemble this body part and then they deliver it to Maruti Suzuki production unit. So this is the basic example, and this is how the subcontracting, in fact, works in SAP as well. So let's take a look at the process. So prerequisite, you need to have the material master, meaning you need to have raw materials and also finished goods, and you need to have vendor master too. I mean, you need to have a subcontracting vendor. There is a special procurement where you'll have to select whether they belong to standard vendor or subcontracting. And this is about prerequisite. And then moving on to the process, purchasing info record. So basically, we create standard purchase info record for any material. But when it comes to subcontracting, there is info category where you need to select subcontracting, and then you have to create purchase info record with the help of T code ME11. And then once purchase info record is maintained, then you'll have to create a purchase order. So basically, you place purchase order to a subcontracting vendor with reference to raw material, but you'll have to ensure that the component details shows you like what is the actual component that we wanted. And then you have to check the stock with the help of T code MMBE, where you need to first check the stock, whether only if stock is available, only then you can send that metal sheet to JBM Group. If stock is not available, then you cannot do it. So basically, we check, and once that is done, so we can transfer that stock with the help of MIGO or MB1B. Transfer code is 541, where you move stock to a special stock, that is subcontracting stock and vendor. And then we receive finished product from vendor, and then we go to Migo and 101 transfer code with L. So automatically it says that it consumes raw material. Then vendor submits invoice, and then the payment happens. So this is how the subcontracting process works. So I'll move on to the next slide, where you can see a few important T codes for subcontracting, like ME21N, which is used to create purchase order for subcontracting. ME20 manage subcontracting stock, that is components. MB1B transfer goods to subcontractor. Movement type is 541, and we have MIGO, that is to goods receipt. And then the rest is self-explanatory, like J1 IF01, so create subcontracting challan. So basically, we don't look into this right now because so our agenda is just to see like once that finished goods is consumed, I mean received, and then we utilize it. So this is more about subcontracting. I'll move on to next topic, that is contract. So contract is a type of outline agreement. Basically, as Ganesh said, an outline agreement is a long-term purchasing agreement between a vendor and a customer. So it defines the terms and conditions for the supply of material or services over a specific period. There are two types of contract, that is quantity contract and value contract. So in outline agreement, we also have like something scheduling agreement. So it's a type of outline agreement, but different from contract, because with the help of outline agreement, we process purchase orders, whereas scheduling agreement, no, we do not process any purchase order. Whereas it's an outline agreement between a vendor and ordering party with a predefined material, defining particular time intervals at which material is required. So when we specify the date when that is required, so that means that we don't need to create any purchase orders for scheduling agreement. Let's see the types of outline agreement. So this is what I was saying. So outline agreement, under outline agreement, we have contracts and we have scheduling agreement. So under contracts, we have quantity contracts and value contract. So I'll move on to the next slide. So here I can illustrate with an example. So you can see here, so this is the P2P cycle, and outline agreement comes right after quotation. So Maruti Suzuki, let's take an example of Maruti Suzuki. So quantity contract, meaning vendor Tata Steel. So basically with Tata Steel, Maruti Suzuki may say that I want 50,000 tons of steel sheet over a year. That means based on quantity, we have an outline agreement with Tata Steel. So that is for 12 months. This is how the quantity contract will be placed. But when it comes to value contract, like Maruti Suzuki also has Bharat Forge, who supply raw materials, and basically they deal with them saying we will buy raw materials worth 1 crore over a year. So we can negotiate based on that, either with the quantity we can have a contract, or with the value we can have a contract. So this is about contract. And coming to scheduling agreement, so Maruti Suzuki will have I mean JM groups, where I mean not just a subcontracting, they also have this wire harnessing. So they can have scheduling agreement for 100 wire. So every first week of month until 10 months. So if I go back to a slide, I mean previous slide, you can see here somewhere. So defining particular time intervals at which material is required. So this is what basically I was referring to. So we always say that, I mean, every first week of month, we need 100 wire harnessing. So this is how a scheduling agreement is made. So coming to T codes, for outline agreement, we use ME31K, 32K is to change, 33K to display, and ME35 to release outline agreement. Coming to scheduling agreements, ME31L create scheduling agreement, ME32L change scheduling agreement, 33 to display, 35 to release 35L, and EKET that stores scheduling lines for scheduling agreement. So basically, these are the T codes. But the thing is, these contracts are created outside SPRO, meaning SAP Easy Access, and that is where we create this. Basically, this is more of end user work, but as a part of process. So it's a good to know information. Here, when you create any contract or outline agreement or scheduling agreement, you won't see any transport number generated, because we do this outside SPR. So that's all for today.